Alright, so the screen is just gray right now because that's how it always starts, but they posted a developer update on, like, I guess all of the YouTube channels of the Overwatch channels, and it's actually introducing the workshop. I think this is what Jeff was talking about in the live streams that, like, what, 3, 4 YouTubers were streaming when the event came out, and Jeff said something about there's gonna be a new thing that no one's thought of, and it was like it wasn't Roku, it wasn't whatever, but I'm pretty sure people have thought of a workshop type thingy, like a map editor or a hero editor. I'm pretty sure people have thought of this, so I don't know what Jeff was talking about. This could maybe be the thing that he was or wasn't talking about. I don't know. But if this is what he was talking about, then, like, he was wrong about people not thinking of this idea, because I'm pretty sure I've heard in previous episodes, or not episodes, in like videos I've watched before, I'm pretty sure I've heard someone say something about making a workshop type thingy where it's like, here's a new map or a map editor or like a map builder, like someone made a whole new map or someone made a whole new hero and made abilities and stuff, and people actually made like artwork, and so like, oh hey, here's my idea for a new map, and it's just like an artwork picture, or here's my idea for a hero, and here's like what they look like, here's their abilities, what the gun looks like, and so I'm pretty sure people have thought of a workshop thingy that would be like make new maps, game modes, heroes, whatever, abilities for heroes, put this ability on this hero or something. Like, we could actually make it so Torb could wall climb, like in like whatever thing that was. I think they showed a thing at like BlizzCon or something, and it was Torbjorn wall climbing, and so people could maybe do that. Maybe we could have it so Torb can actually wall climb. I don't know, but anyways, I should start this video because it's 7 minutes long and people are probably gonna skip ahead and go to watch this. So anyways, I will start this. You can watch this on your own. I will link it in the description so you can watch it without me talking and pausing and stuff. So yeah, anyways, I'll start it now. I keep
What's up, everyone? This is Jeff from the Overwatch team. We're here with an awesome update. This one's going to be a bit of a surprise for you all because we have a brand new feature coming to Overwatch, and one that's really exciting to us. So the feature is called the Workshop, and the Workshop is coming to the game browser. Now, I know there's immediately a ton of
game browser. Does that mean the like home screen of the Overwatch thing, so you can sit, play, hit heroes, hit training? There's like those things. Does he mean that thing, or does he mean like the where you select the game mode? I don't really. It could be either one. I think it's probably either one, or it's probably like the when you go to start Overwatch, instead of hitting play on Overwatch or the PTR, you could hit workshop mode on there instead. But I think the PTR is updating, so it could just be on the PTR, and then it could just be one of those two I said before. I guess, I don't know. Whatever, we're just gonna have to wait and see. I will probably do a gameplay video, or I guess not a gameplay video, just a video of me messing with the workshop, I guess. I'm gonna have to try to see how everything works before I make that video, though.
of questions about what is the Workshop. The Workshop is a scripting mode that will allow you to make custom game modes within the custom game browser, but also allow you to do really cool things like, for example, you could even prototype your own Overwatch hero using this system. So I'll give you a little bit of
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of, is people already thought about this, so if this is what Jeff was talking about in a stream, then he didn't know anyone thought of this, or maybe he forgot people thought about this, and so he's just like, oh, it's something that no one ever thought of. But obviously, it's kind of like we had to have thought of this. We're the community, and we have how many people in this community, and how many people in the past of the community. Like, people had to have thought of this, and I remember hearing someone say something in a video where it's a hero or map editor or game mode editor, whatever thing. So I don't know where Jeff thought that no one thought of this. I don't know, whatever.
History about how we came up with this idea. We have two amazing programmers, one by the name of Dan and one by the name of Keith, and we gave them some free time to work on whatever they wanted. And these two programmers were really familiar with working with our scripting system that we use to make the game. And they said, wow, it would be super cool if we gave the players some of the power that we have as programmers and as game developers to make whatever they could come up with, wherever their imaginations would take them. So Keith and...
This actually kind of reminds me of the Fortnite block thing, where they just have a giant gray block in the map, and then they put someone's idea in that block for like however long. So someone made a little town, and then they put that town in the block, and then people can go there whenever. So I feel like it's kind of like that, where they just build it in creative mode of Fortnite, and so this is kind of reminds me of that, where you can, maybe it wouldn't be exactly the same, but it would just make it so maybe we could have it so fan-made stuff could go into the game, and who knows if they'll actually have it so fan-made stuff would go in the game like Fortnite does, but there could be a possibility that we could get fan-made stuff in the game, but probably not, because I don't see Blizzard letting any of the fans put stuff in the game, because I think fan-made skins don't even get to go in the game. So I don't know. I don't remember ever seeing a fan-made skin going into actual Overwatch. So whatever. Who knows? Maybe they'll let us have fan-made stuff in the game.
And Dan put a custom layer of interface and a custom scripting system on top of the one that we use to make the game, so that all of you on both PC and console can start creating your own game modes. So the system is really powerful, and I have to warn you up front, this is more of what I would call a power user feature. The people that I think this will speak to most immediately are people with some experience with other scripting engines that are available publicly on the internet, or people with programming backgrounds. Really, anybody who understands the logic of game making and how game events are sort of chained together will have an easier time creating things. Now, Keith and Dan have done a really good job of making the feature as accessible to everyone as possible, and we also plan on putting a special forum up on the Blizzard website that allows you to interact with us and ask us some questions on how to use it. But you might be wondering, like, examples of some of the things that you can make. And we're going to put some examples into the custom game browser.
I really hope in the forums you could, like, post your creations in there, or like in video form, like you just record your whatever creation, and or like a speed whatever, a sped up of you creating your thing, and then you can just post it, the video in there, so you could just post a YouTube link and then people can watch you making your creation. I hope you can do that in that forum of the workshop forum in there, but who knows if they'll actually let you link a YouTube thing in there or self-promote or whatever. Who knows if you can do that in the forum there. But hopefully you could, so then you can show off your creation, but hopefully people don't steal your idea though.
So that way you can open up modes that we've already made and see exactly how they were made and start tweaking them yourselves and sort of adjusting different variables to have different outcomes. So one mode that's really fun, and we look forward to seeing you kind of tweak and do your own thing with, we call the molten floor. And in this mode, anytime a character is on the ground, they catch on fire. So you can imagine how fun a game mode.
That sounds scary. Just catching on fire when you touch the floor. I'm sure people will probably play like Pharah and Genji in that mode, so then you can just keep flying for a long time or keep double jumping a bunch. I don't know who else you could really play, because I don't really know who else can really stay on in the air for a while. Maybe D.Va, but I don't know. I wonder if jumping off the ground will make it so you take less fire or whatever, so then you can just jump a bunch instead of just whatever.
It could be with characters like Pharah and Lucio, who have the ability to stay off the ground.
Oh yeah, Lucio's one. I kind of forgot about him. How could I forget about him? Maybe Mercy could work. Who knows if Mercy can work, but her ult will have to be able to be used every however long, or her ult will have to, the duration of being in her ult would have to be for a while. So.
You could make something really interesting and special there. We see a lot of you trying to create modes like hide and seek in the game browser, and now you can make much more powerful versions.
Yeah, we could like change a map or create a map that is specifically for hide and seek. So you could have hiding places, and or you could possibly maybe somehow do something like prop hunt, but I don't know if you would be able to really do that so much. Hopefully you could possibly make some kind of prop hunt thing, but I don't know. That would be cool if you could make a prop hunt type thing and just have like props of like boxes and fruit and wine bottles around and mattresses and chairs and stuff, and just be able to turn into that prop and hide. But I don't know if they would let us be able to do that, but we could probably just have a map where there's a bunch of different hiding places that are super easy to be able to hide in. Have little places that you can crouch down in and just hide there for a while. Probably play as like Tracer or something, or Baby D.Va, because they're the tiniest characters. I'm pretty sure Torb is the tiniest character, I should say, even though he's kind of fat. He's still like the shortest, so he'd probably be good for hide and seek if you want to hide in a really tiny spot. Anyways.
Versions of hide and seek, and then we have a game mode that I just think is awesome, and we'll probably include in the arcade at some point, called Mirror Deathmatch. And Mirror Deathmatch I think is really fun, and with that.
Would that be everyone's playing as Widow, or everyone's playing as Tracer?
Does is it's free for all deathmatch, but every character, every player in the map plays the same character for 1 minute.
Yeah, that's kind of like Mirror. Isn't so like deathmatch is like 8 players, and so everyone would be playing as like Reinhardt, or everybody would be playing as Pharah. I think that's like that little game mode where you play 1v1 and then it's mirror match. So it's basically gonna be like that, but you're going against like 7 other people in this instead of just one other person. So that's gonna be kind of wild, just having a bunch of the same character running around.
So for 1 minute we're all McCree, then it switches over, and next thing you know we're all Hanzo, and then it switches over and we're all Ashe. So it's a much more balanced version of free-for-all deathmatch. Something that I've read on the forums and in social media from all of you is that you love mystery heroes, but some of you would like to have a version that you call balanced mystery heroes. And you've talked about, what if mystery heroes had a certain number of tanks and a certain number of supports, so at any time the 2 teams were relatively balanced, even though that there was random heroes happening. Well, with the workshop, you could create that exact mode now, and you can decide, do you want 1 tank or 2 tanks or 3 tanks, or 1 support, 2 support. It's really up to you, and it's very easy once you set up the mode to change some of those variables. Now, for those of you who are familiar with game logic and scripting, or familiar with programming, you'll know that as you're working on creating something custom like this, you often need to go through and find out why it's working or not working just the way you intended. And programmers in the audience will understand what I'm talking about when I say you need a debugger, something to help you find any issues that you've created in your script. Well, luckily the workshop is coming with what we call Workshop Inspector, which is a custom debugger that will allow you to run your game mode, and it will report back to you why certain things are happening, or sometimes.
So I guess it would probably have like a little notification come up and it would be like, oh, here's this thing isn't working because this thing. So like, let's say you have a random, like one of your random heroes that you created or you edited one of the heroes, and they're not working because something else, like two things inside of that hero's like whatever coding are conflicting with each other. They're like fighting back against each other. They're not working out well together. So you're gonna have to remove one or edit one of them and try to fix that problem. And so I guess a little notification will come up, and it'll say, "Oh, this character, this thing that you put in doesn't work because of these two things, or this one thing is too complicated, or it's making everything just completely crap itself, and it's just taking up too much." You need to like dim it down a little bit for how much that thing is working, or something like that. It just probably is some notification or something will come up and tell you what's wrong.
Sometimes it's even more important to know why aren't they happening. You know, you expect a certain thing to happen and it's not. So we think that will be really cool too and really helpful for you. One of my biggest hopes is I know this is a power user feature and there's some technical knowledge needed to use it, but my hopes is that some of you have never gotten to play around with creating game modes and creating game logic, or maybe prototyping a hero. This can be the first time that you can open up one of the existing scripts that we have, take a look at it in the workshop, and start to learn how we made it, and maybe you'll realize that you too could be a game developer someday and you can make really cool stuff. So we're hoping that this opens up a whole new wide array of game modes that the community is going to create, and that there'll be some really fun stuff out there for all of you. Now, I also need to put this in the right context. This isn't a map editor. You won't be able to create custom geometry or import art into the game that doesn't currently exist. It mainly allows you to control the game logic behind game modes and what's happening with different heroes. But trust me.
Okay, so maybe it's not a map editor, but people were thinking a workshop type whatever thing would have it so you could create your own maps. That's what I was thinking, like for hide and seek, you could make your own maps and be able to do whatever with like hiding spots. But I guess we might not be able to do that yet. Maybe they'll update it and so we can make our own maps or edit the existing maps. I don't get what he means by, like, I guess put your own artwork. We can't like take a thing from our PC and implement it into the thing. We're gonna have to create a whole new thing inside of the workshop. But why can't we make our own maps with just the editor here? If we can make our own heroes, why can't we make our own maps? For creating our own heroes, we probably need to make what they look like and make their abilities, and then for a map editor, wouldn't it be the same thing, just make what it looks like? Just like put a bunch of like blocks everywhere and see how that would be, and put a bunch of textures everywhere and just whatever. Like, I don't know, like obviously we can't move something from our PC to put in there, but like make a whole new thing just with the editor and not with something else that we may already have. but whatever. I guess maybe they could update it. I'm gonna have to see in the PTR because I think the PTR updated, and I might be able to see if it has anything.
It's extremely powerful, and we expect you and are very excited for all of you to do great things. So we hope you enjoy it. All of the work that you create on the PTR is going to be able to be copied over using a share function that we're adding. And the share function is really cool because previously, if you had a really good rule set in custom game, it wasn't trivial to share that. Now you'll be able to generate a code and put that code in, whether it's on PC or console, and it works on both of those, and create this custom game all over again that you've either gotten from somebody else or created yourself. So we're extremely excited.
So I guess we're gonna be able to put like the link or the code or whatever into the custom games, and just be like, it'll the custom games will probably have a little thing where you go into create and you hit whatever, and then you put, it'll be like, oh, do you have a code thingy, and then you just copy the code thingy into there, and then it'll read it and be like, okay, here's your game that you made, and then you can go into that game with like friends or randoms or just by yourself and test it, and then whatever, and you can do whatever you want with it because you created it, and or you copied someone else's and then maybe edited it yourself, or just left it as what the person made it, and then you and whoever can mess around in it. And I really hope this has a bunch of different things and a bunch of random stuff. I hope we can like take heroes and then give them another hero's ability, and just have like flying Reinhardt or flying tracers. Tracer can kind of fly, but not really, because she can get up somewhere and just teleport her way across the map somehow. I guess we can kind of fly already with the gravity, but it's not really flying, so I don't know if that really counts.
To see what you all do with this. We hope it opens up a whole new world of Overwatch to you all, and we hope you love and enjoy the workshop. Thank you.
Anyways, I guess I probably shouldn't take too forever with talking about this. I kind of already said what I said, or what I guess needed to say in the video, and this video is super long anyways, but I guess that's it. I will link this video in the description, like I said at the start, so you can watch it yourself without me talking and pausing it. This video is like more than double of this video, because this video is like 7 minutes long, and if you double that, then it would be 14 minutes long, and this video is so much longer than double this video, so sorry, I guess, I don't know. Anyways, I guess bye. This seems kind of cool, but I don't know, the hopes for Blizzard stuff is kind of low at the moment, because all of their stuff has been complete crap. So anyways, I guess bye.